Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome back to the deep dive, where we tear through the latest source materials you don't have to. Today, we're looking at what really feels like a fundamental strategic turning point in the AI industry. We're calling it the Great Pivot.
And that's a good way to put it. For the last, several years, the central idea in AI has been pretty simple. Just scale everything up.
Scale the model, scale the compute.
Exactly. And the breakthroughs will just happen. But the sources we're looking at today suggest that the very people who built that scaling architecture are now, changing their tune.
So our mission today is to really distill the evidence for this shift. We're going to dive into 3 key areas.
Right.
First, a frankly shocking declaration from a foundational AI leader that the age of scaling is essentially over.
Then we've got some fresh, hard data, actually validating massive real-world productivity gains from AI.
And finally, we'll break down the intensifying chip and model wars that are happening right now globally.
So you'll walk away from this deep dive really understanding the implications of Ilya Sutskever's new direction, the staggering numbers behind Anthropic's claim of doubling U.S. productivity growth.
And how the newest generation of visual AI tools are becoming production ready, almost overnight.
It's a lot to cover.
Let's get into it. Let's start with that strategic bombshell, the one that sort of reset the entire industry narrative.
Yeah.
Ilya Sutskever, this is the man who co-founded OpenAI, who helped define the era of scaling, is now basically declaring that era finished.
It's the ultimate insider move, isn't it? Sutskever, who, just recently founded his new company, Safe Superintelligence, or SSI.
Right.
He argues that the period from, say, 2020 to 2025 was the age of scaling, where just getting bigger was the main measure of progress.
And now?
Now he's asserting that research, new architectural approaches, that's the only true differentiating factor for the next wave of breakthroughs.
Which is fascinating when you think about it. Competitors are pouring tens of billions into building more scaling infrastructure as we speak.
Exactly.
But isn't this what every new startup says? We have a new approach. How does he prove this when the last decade has proven that scaling works?
Well, he's implying that the current architecture, the large language model, might have hit a kind of physics or computational ceiling. It suggests that just adding more data or more layers, it won't give you those exponential gains anymore. So you're forced into a radical new approach.
And SSI is his bet on that.
SSI is an age of research company, is literally betting everything on a different technical approach to superintelligence. And to underline how serious this is, the sources noted SSI was raising at a huge $32 billion valuation.
$32 billion.
And they turned down an acquisition offer from Meta.
Turning down Meta at that level, that proves they truly believe their research path is fundamentally better than the scale path.
Did he give a timeline for all this?
He did, a rough one. Sutskever forecasts that a superhuman-like learning AI could emerge within, say, 5 to 20 years. It's a powerful vision. Basically, abandon the current compute race and pivot to pure technical innovation if you want that next big leap.
That's the argument.
So if the philosophy is shifting, we have to look at the measurable impact. And Anthropic just released new research that tries to quantify all the hype.
And this is critical data. It moves us beyond just anecdotes. Anthropic analyzed 100,000 Claude conversations to track how AI is actually being used in the real world.
100,000. And what's the big takeaway?
Their core estimate suggests that widespread AI adoption could boost annual U.S. labor productivity growth by 1.8%.
Okay, hang on. 1.8%, to put that in context.
Yeah.
What's the current rate?
The current average is about 0.9%. So this figure, it effectively doubles the U.S. productivity rate.
Doubling U.S. productivity growth is an incredible claim. But, 100,000 Claude conversations, isn't there a massive selection bias there? Or are we just talking about power users?
That's the necessary critical question, for sure. And while the study is based on Claude users, Anthropic's method then mapped those task times to federal labor data.
So they tried to extrapolate it out.
Exactly. To provide an estimate for broad economic impact, not just for the most enthusiastic early adopters. And they found AI cuts task completion time by roughly 80%.
80%. Give me some specific examples. Where are these huge time savings actually happening?
Okay, so tasks like curriculum development saw a 96% time savings.
96. So a task that took days now takes, what, minutes? Hours?
Hours or minutes, yeah. Research assistance functions saw 91% savings. The impact is broad, but software developers, they account for the largest single share of the gains, 19%.
Followed by?
Followed closely by operations managers and marketing specialists.
Okay, so that level of confirmed productivity gain, it just pours fuel on the fire of competition, especially in specialized areas. Let's pivot to visual intelligence. We've seen amazing image generators, but the new fight is all about consistency and being production ready.
Right. And Black Forest Labs just launched Flux.2, and it's taking direct aim at the existing benchmark.
It's challenging Google's SOTA model, right? The Nano Banana Pro?
That's the one. The key feature for Flux.2, the real killer feature, is its multi-reference capability. It can maintain character and style consistency across up to 10 different input images.
10. That solves a massive pain point for anyone making, say, storyboards or brand assets, where a character has to look exactly the same in every single shot.
A colossal pain point.
So how do they pull that off? How do they get that level of consistency?
They've essentially split the AI's brain. It uses a combination of a text and image model and then a separate spatial relationship model.
Okay, so one understands the what?
The story, the style, exactly.
Yeah.
The second model ensures it all looks realistic, guaranteeing correct physics, lighting, and complex compositions.
And this technical improvement, it translates directly to professional use, especially with things like text.
Typography, exactly. Outputs can get up to 4 megapixels with way better typography. The ability to render complex text layouts reliably. That's what separates a fun toy from a professional tool.
So you can make production-ready infographics, UI mockups.
Right out of the box. And they're offering several versions, too. A dev version with open weights, and client is coming soon, fully open source. Rapid iteration is just the standard now. And if we connect this technical and philosophical pivot to the bigger geopolitical picture, we see this pursuit of AI dominance reflected everywhere.
Globally, institutionally.
We are in a period of intensified hardware rivalry and, significant governmental response.
Let's start there with the institutional response. The White House recently announced what's being called a Manhattan Project for AI.
The Genesis Project. It's run by the Department of Energy, and it's a national effort designed to accelerate AI-driven innovation. The goal is ambitious.
Which is?
To build an integrated AI model trained on federal data while also focusing on creating jobs and reducing energy costs.
The comparison to the Manhattan Project and the Apollo program is obviously meant to signal its importance.
It's intended to signal the perceived strategic importance of AI leadership, yes.
But calling it a Manhattan Project sets incredibly high expectations. Is the Genesis Project funded or scoped out enough to even warrant that comparison, or is this just political signaling for now?
It is clearly high-level signaling, but the commitment behind it is real. It places the Department of Energy's enormous computational resources at the center of this push. It means they are focusing federal resources toward a large-scale, unified AI effort. The commitment is institutional.
Okay, shifting to the model race itself, who is currently in the lead. It feels like Google is making a very strong push with its Gemini models.
Google's Gemini 3.0 is definitely emerging as a top competitor. It outperformed all the other leading models in key benchmarks.
It set a new high score on that offline IQ test, right?
That's right, a score of 130 on Tracking AI's offline IQ test. And that test specifically measures complex reasoning, multi-step problem solving. It surpassed Grok 4 expert mode score of 126.
Which brings us to the chip wars, because this is where it gets absolutely crucial.
Indeed. Google is reportedly in talks to supply Meta with AI chips worth billions. That is a direct challenge to Nvidia's dominance in the hardware supply chain.
And what's Nvidia's response to that?
Their counterclaim is that its hardware is a generation ahead with greater performance, versatility, and fungibility.
Okay, fungibility, that's a technical term. Why should an enterprise care if their AI chip is fungible?
Well, it's the difference between a custom tool and a universally adaptable one. Nvidia is arguing their chips are just more flexible.
So you can swap them between different tasks?
Exactly. You can move them between different large models and tasks like training, inference, fine-tuning without losing efficiency. And that versatility makes them a safer long-term investment for a company whose AI strategy might change.
Meanwhile, what are OpenAI and Anthropic doing on the product side to keep their big enterprise users happy?
OpenAI has rolled out 2 key enterprise updates. First, And this is crucial. They now let companies store data in specific regions to meet local regulations.
Huge for international compliance.
Vital. They also integrated ChatGPT voice directly into the main chat interface, making voice conversations much more seamless.
And Anthropic is still flexing its muscle with its newest model, Opus 4.5.
They tested Claude Opus 4.5 on a really rigorous take-home exam for prospective performance engineers. The model scored higher than any human candidate ever.
So we're moving past simple summarization.
We're moving into high-level, specialized technical skill.
Okay, let's quickly sweep the market diversification we're seeing. AI is moving into some very specialized areas.
Yes, we're seeing major moves in creative fields. Suno, the AI music platform, partnered with Warner Music Group.
That's a big deal for licensing.
It's massive. This lets Suno train on licensed recordings, and crucially, it lets users create songs using the voices and styles of participating artists.
What about tools for, say, advanced document understanding? That's key for enterprise automation.
For that, Tencent open-sourced HunyuanOCR. And it goes way beyond just reading text. It's a state-of-the-art visual understanding model that truly gets document structure.
Crucial for complex forms, information extraction.
High accuracy extraction, yes. And finally, for the consumer, Perplexity launched a free AI shopping feature for US users. It learns your preferences and lets you buy things directly through PayPal right inside the app.
We've covered the major strategic shifts, but now let's quickly shift focus to the tools you can immediately use or look into based on today's dive.
Okay.
We should prioritize application here, not just feature lists.
Let's focus on the models and applications we've already highlighted.
First up, Claude Opus 4.5. If you're looking for the absolute cutting edge of complex reasoning and technical skill, this is Anthropic's new benchmark topping model.
Next, Flux.2 from Forest Labs. If you need image generation where characters and styles have to stay consistent across a series of images, say for UI mockups or detailed infographics, this is the new tool to check out.
For the consumer looking for smarter ways to buy things, check out the new shopping research feature from Perplexity. It learns what you like and makes buying through PayPal really seamless.
And then there's that great open source asset, HunyuanOCR from Tencent. If you handle a high volume of complex digital documents and need accurate info extraction, this model is a fantastic resource.
Moving into more vertical automation, we have a few rapid creation tools. Look at MediaPET. It specializes in creating professional video ads in under 5 minutes.
For more general writing and problem solving, there's Feen. And if you're building websites, Macaly turns plain language descriptions into working web pages instantly.
And finally, DesignLumo. It lets you generate editable creatives and post them in minutes. It bridges that gap between just generating something and getting to a final output.
So, to summarize what we've covered today, you are really witnessing a fundamental strategic split. Sutskever is betting his entire future on a return to research over raw compute scaling.
While at the same time, Anthropic has provided hard data showing that AI adoption is causing a genuine, measurable productivity boom.
Potentially doubling U.S. economic growth.
It is a moment where philosophy, economics, and hard competition are all just converging at breakneck speed.
Which raises an important question for you to consider. If the U.S. government is launching a massive competitive initiative like the Genesis Project, and we're seeing global tech giants release state-of-the-art models almost weekly,
Right.
how much faster will this next era of research-driven breakthroughs arrive than even Sutskever's own 5 to 20-year timeline suggests? The sheer speed of the global response is breathtaking.
That is a great point about the pace of the future. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the latest AI frontier.
We appreciate you tuning in. Please share this information with others who want to stay informed.
Until next time, see you in the next episode.